Aloha, it's Kiana, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Mahalo to Longs Drugs Hawaii for sponsoring the show. Head on over to your neighborhood Longs Drugs for all your shopping needs. Also, tomorrow, August 3rd, is the Hawaii Career Expo at the Neil Blaisdell Exhibition Hall from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you haven't registered yet, register for free on hawaiicareerexpo.com. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi arrived in Taiwan late Tuesday in what is being framed as a show of support for democracy. She is the highest-ranking American official to visit the self-ruled island in 25 years. China condemned the visit and announced a series of military maneuvers in the area shortly after Pelosi's arrival. The White House criticized Beijing threats and said the U.S. has no interest in deepening tensions with China. Still, U.S. officials said its own forces will be more active in the region during Pelosi's visit. Taiwan and China split during a civil war in 1949, but China claims the island as part of its territory and views visits by foreign government officials as a recognition of the island's sovereignty. Pelosi has been critical of China in the past, particularly on the topic of human rights. She will continue her tour of the region with visits to Japan and South Korea later this week. A 15-year-old boy was killed in a motor vehicle collision in Pipi'ikeo on the Big Island Monday. Zion Hau Kaleo of Ocean View was sitting in the rear passenger seat of a 1996 Honda Civic when the car's driver attempted to overtake another vehicle on Mamalahoa Highway. The Honda lost control and spun into the oncoming lane, hitting a Chevrolet pickup truck at about 6:10 Monday evening. Hau Kaleo and the Honda's 20-year-old male driver were thrown from the vehicle. Hau Kaleo was unresponsive when first responders arrived at the scene. He was later pronounced dead at Hilo Medical Center. The driver sustained serious injuries and was taken to the hospital where he underwent surgery this morning. A 16-year-old sitting in the front passenger seat of the Honda sustained minor injuries. The 40-year-old woman who was driving the Chevrolet sustained a broken right heel and is also being treated at Hilo Medical Center. A third vehicle that was traveling behind the Honda was struck by flying debris from the collision, but the driver was not injured. Police believe speed was a factor in the collision. The polio virus has been detected in wastewater samples from a suburban county near New York City. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said the samples were collected in early June from Rockland County. It was there that officials on July 21st announced the first case of polio in nearly a decade. An unvaccinated young adult is thought to have contracted the life-threatening virus from someone inoculated with a live vaccine. The person had a strain of the virus that has been genetically linked to samples found in Rockland County wastewater, as well as samples from London and the Jerusalem area. New York health officials were unable to determine whether the Rockland County samples came from the recently diagnosed patient, raising the possibility that more people from the community are shedding the virus. Officials say they have not identified any new cases. Polio was once one of America's most feared diseases, with annual outbreaks causing thousands of cases of paralysis. It was declared eliminated in the U.S. in 1979, more than 2 decades after vaccines became available. The popular Nahuku lava tube in Hawaii Volcanoes National Park has been closed after movement was detected in the rock. Monitoring of a fracture near the top of the lava tube found the crack narrowed by nearly 2.5 millimeters over the past 3 days. According to the National Park Service, the recent movement could mean other fractures are widening, potentially making a large overhead rock in the tube unstable. The tube, which is frequented by hikers, was closed on Sunday without a clear reopening date. Until last weekend, data from a crack meter showed less than 1 millimeter of movement in the tube since late 2019. The Park Service said a similar pattern of movement would need to resume before the tube is considered safe to reopen. Golf superstar Tiger Woods turned down an offer to join Saudi-funded live golf series that was worth between $700 and $800 million. The enormous sum was confirmed by golf legend Greg Norman, who currently serves as Live CEO. Woods has voiced opposition to live golf, which is causing a rift in the sport. PGA Tour players who committed to Live have had their membership suspended, but the series continues to woo high-profile competitors with large signing bonuses and big purses. Phil Mickelson reportedly received a $200 million signing bonus, while world number 18 Dustin Johnson received $150 million. At the British Open in July, Woods said players who took money from Live had turned their back on the tour that gave them their start. Live is funded by the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Saudi Arabia, and critics say the effort is an attempt to distract from the country's dismal human rights record. Families of September 11th victims have condemned the series for suspected links between Saudi Arabia and the terrorist attacks. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.